Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final round, round 10 of IRC LMU Season 2. It has been an amazing championship till now, and today we are here at Le Mans for the final race of the season. Today I am joined by my co commentator Simply Whitey for this event, as well as our streamer Deepak Raj. So, hey Simply, how are you?
Hi Tanish, I am absolutely ecstatic for this final race at this very iconic circuit of Le Mans, where we've seen multiple historic races occur and multiple iconic races along with that. Without wasting much further time, Tanish, let's quickly jump into what we are dealing with today. The temperature is okay. The forecast appears to be clear for the qualifying session. 20 minutes of qualifying, which is already underway. Race is 45 minutes along this 13, almost 14-kilometer long track. And yeah, it's going to be a very, very fun session with a lot of action coming our way, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, and mind you, even though qualifying is 20 minutes, but the track length, if you look at it, it's 13.62 kilometers. So one mistake, and you do that complete lap to come back into the pits. So drivers have to be very careful on what they are dealing with on the track.
Talking about the drivers, we have the standings with us right here with Addy is not your daddy, 0 points. We'll start from here. FIFA Kanak, of course, our drivers champion this season, followed very closely, or rather quite distantly, by Bottle to, and Lightning Mucking in third. And it is actually, I've been informed that it is a championship fight between Lightning Mucking 3 and Kingsman for P3. So this is the race that will decide a final P3 sitter. And we have a Dark Knight in P6. A very interesting thing to note is Mist in P9 because although a very strong driver, he hasn't had the best of seasons and not the best of lucks on his hand. But for sure, something to look out for if he is present in this race. As we can see, just scrolling through our standings, we can see Fury in 15th, trailed a little bit by Ronit. Just 1 point between these people, and AJ Sam is pretty much there as well. So there's a battle for 15th in the standings as well. So not a single part of anywhere in the standings is quiet. We can see quite a lot of Porsches in our third page of standings. No more pro player, unfortunately, in P29. People expected more from him, could not deliver, unfortunately, this season. We have, the final standings with the three drivers, 0 points. Quite surprising to see Worship the Panda there with the 0 points. I did not expect him to be there. I'm pretty sure, if I correct me if I'm wrong, Tanish, his participation has been very limited in this season. But even then, it is not something that you expect from the caliber of Panda.
Yep, definitely. His participation was very low in this season. And again, a new car that he was driving, which was Corvette. It's not very easy car to drive. He did whichever race he took part, he did try to do his best, but I think he got into some misfortune in multiple events, and yep, that's just displayed on the leaderboard where he got 0 points. So yeah, I think it's kind of unfortunate for him, but again, maybe he was occupied with other things for this season, and in the coming season, we might see him somewhere close to the top.
Yep, hopefully we do see him back at the top where he belongs. And just on the outlap, and we'll have a very, very long outlap on this circuit. It's if you look at the actual times, then you can approximate to around right about 4 minutes for one lap. And we have this very, very beautiful livery of Zan on the Porsche, and he's just about to enter the third sector. He's still quite a while before he gets to the line, and yeah, plenty to discuss. What are your predictions, Tanish? Let us get this ball rolling. Who do you expect, perhaps with the circuit like this, where we have seen absolutely close racing time and time again, unexpected last minute changes for positions, which dealt, with certain positions in the championships. Do you think that perhaps a a driver from absolutely nowhere could send in a shocker and take away, say, one of the top five positions, which will be honestly a grand thing to have on a circuit like this.
I mean, that's definitely on the cards if you ask me. I won't deny, but I'm pretty sure FIFA Kanak will be in the top three, considering the pace that he has shown throughout this season. And but yeah, as you're discussing, this track is pretty long, and there are a lot of opportunities to find that lap time with such long straights, and you just have to make sure you get those exits right, and you can gain loads of time throughout the lap. And especially, to be honest, there's one more thing on qualifying from last season. What we have seen, the later you start the lap on this track, the bigger improvements you get. And when I say improvements, they are massive, and you can even jump in 10 positions if you get the lap time right.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, because as you fairly mentioned, Tanish, that this track is very, very long and filled with corners where you can just gain that, a hundredth or two, and then all of that just adds up over the track. And let us not forget that there is some advantages with certain cars as well that will favor the extremely long straights that are present on this circuit. For example, I'm pretty sure that the Porsches and the Fords and I think even the BMWs have quite the top speed that they can pull, as opposed to the Mercedes, which I think caps out around 285 ish. And so the cars will also come into hand. But yeah, this slipstream is something that ideally a driver wants on a circuit like this, because again, as we are on board with Talari right now, who's one of the contenders for P3 in these standings. He is on one of the final straights before it comes into the proper twisty sections that we love seeing on TV, starting just about here. And yeah, so having slipstream down such long straights is really ideal. But at the same time, when you go through corners like this, Danish, the dirty air does completely throw you off the racing line. And how much do you think that could potentially, like, does it make sense to try and stay very close up to a driver and then use that slipstream as an advantage while trying to mitigate the dirty air? Or do you think it's completely worth it to just stay by yourself throughout the lap and try and improve by yourself?
Well, now you have asked me. Okay, before we answer that question, let's see what lap time Bhargav Talari gets. He should be the first one crossing the line and getting a valid lap time on board. Let's see what lap time he gets, and it's a 4-minute flat. I am pretty sure that's a decent lap time to start with. But yeah, coming back to your question simply. So I was thinking to answer this in the race, but slipstream will be a very, very important factor in this race, because the primary reason for that is the fuel saving that the drivers will have to do. It's not going to be a straightforward race. It's a 45-minute race, but the fuel consumption that these cars have, if they go with the normal push laps that they do, they will only be able to do 10 laps, and they will have to probably complete 11 laps in this race, and pitting for one extra lap is not gonna make sense. And on fuel saving on track like this, even plus one lap is gonna be an effort. So yep, as much as dirty air is gonna be bad through the Porsche curves, but at the same time that slipstream is gonna be the one that will help you save that fuel for that one extra lap.
Yes, certainly, Tanish, as we are actually looking at one of the contenders for the P3, Priyansh Oban, also known as Pri the Pro or Pri the Not Slow YT. He's currently, he has set the fastest lap, about 2.5 tenths quicker than Bhargav Talari, currently sat in provisional P1 with the 10.5 minutes on the board. And that is a very, very good lap. So we can essentially expect towards the end of the session a good, perhaps a 3-minute 58 lap time ish from some of the drivers, like as you mentioned, FIFA Kanak, who genuinely has the potential of extracting every bit of his car on a very, very technical and challenging circuit like this.
Yep, that's highly a possibility considering how good the combination of FIFA Canuck and that Corvette is. But yeah, I won't be surprised if there are other drivers who just, replace for Canuck and take that pole from him. We have a very big competitor of Canuck who is Hardik Pari. Again, in this season, he has not been able to show like dominate over FIFA Canuck in terms of race, but he has always been up there with him, and has never made it easy for Canuck to win those races, and that's why we can say Hardik Pari is P2 in the championship, which is again sealed by him. So, yep, a lot to look out for as we see a bit of squabbly movement for that Porsche of AF Zan. So, yeah, these drivers have already started to push as we have just halfway through the qualifying.
Exactly, half of the time is already ticked away, Tanish. 8 minutes and a bit remaining in this qualifying, and yeah, to be fair, props to Moto or Hardik, as whatever you want to call him. He has done a fantastic job in keeping that P2 at least secured, and so that will hopefully be a good motivation for him for the next season to try and properly give that challenge to FIFA Canuck, and especially not cause the situations as he has, for example, in the Spa race in the pit lane where he decided to show everyone a good look of his vehicle. Anyways, Pre the Pro, being in P1, he's still going green sector, so someone's taking those purple sectors away from Priyansh, and at this very present moment, he is still improving. I think that will be a comfortable 3-minute 59, at least a 0.8 for Priyansh that could potentially be on the board. He's halfway around this lap, his own lap, and as we watch the Porsche, currently present in P6 of G. Samuel, a very, very good looking car, absolutely pushing the limits throughout the final sector, and he's going to be trying to get his braking just about right here. It's very easy to lock your rears and then go spinning off into the barriers, and nothing will be able to stop you if your trajectory turns towards those barriers. He has not done that. He is going through the start finish line, and he improves up to a P5 with a 401.344, and he's had a very, very good amount of improvement throughout his lap. So surely a motivation for him as now we go on board with Priyansh running the Canadian livery, which was expected to be run by Slayer, but I think he's just giving him some representation this race around. He has improved just by 300ths in the first sector and by 100, so he's losing time, and so there's a chance that he's bled plenty of time coming into this final set of corners, as we see James Robin improving up to P7th, Aditya Vanmali improving to P8 just behind James Robin, and there is a slipstream getting taken off of Priyansh as he comes through the final corner going for the start finish line. Will he be able to improve his time? No, he is down on his time. A good final sector, but he is lacking in the first two sectors, so I'm sure he knows where to improve.
Yep, and mind you, Akbar Kumar has started his another lap, it seems, and he has already done purple sector 1. So we have another driver to look out for on the fight for the pole today. So yeah, let's see what lap time he gets, as right now we are on board Akbar Kumar, and seems like he is still lacking that first sector. I'm not sure how is someone else snatched that first sector or what, but yeah, it's still not the purple. It's still yellow, not very far off. But let's see, and as he goes white there, not sure if he invalidated the lap, but that must have ruined his lap because the straight is long and the messed up exit there is going to screw up the straight as well. So simply, yep, I don't think this lap is going to be representative for him as what he wanted.
Exactly, but he still has the opportunity, Tanish, to go back into the pits, get a fresh set of tires going for him with a completely bare minimum fuel. He has plenty of time to make it around if he does want to get into the garage and then have a quick drive around, and then because that will give him a proper tire advantage over the other drivers who have been constantly at it ever since the qualifying session began, and have been trying to set up a better lap time. As we can see, Jay Patil being blocked by the Mercedes right in front of him. That's going to cost him dearly, especially considering he's also in the fight for P3. This is not doing him any favors at all. He'll have a slipstream, but I'm pretty sure that will not make up for any time that was lost going into that corner.
Yep, that Mercedes which I see is of Alex Joseph is not helping J Patil a lot, and maybe the slipstream is there, but the time that he lost while being blocked by that car is definitely something that might cost him some tenths there at the end of this lap. But yeah, let's see J Patil on his lap. He is improving though. As we see the sector times, massive improvements, almost half a second each sector. But now it all depends on how it's gonna be in this final sector for him. As we see there are cars just in front of him. Will they gonna be moving out of his way, or will he be closing massively? And we are not sure. But yeah, let's see. Again, as per rules, if the car is in front, the lap, and as we see there's a mess up from that Mercedes. That was close, simply. That was very close.
That is extremely close, way out of the comfort zone. I think that is Priyansh right in front of him. He's not going to be enjoying what's happening in his mirrors, and certainly Patil not going to be enjoying what's happening in front of him. That's 2 corners now for him which have been compromised. 3.5 minutes remaining this qualifying. He has one more go, and with Alex Joseph's Mercedes sat right in front of him, being all over the place. I doubt that is going to be of any favors to him. He's going to try and look for an overtake in qualifying. Alex Joseph luckily lets him by. No, that is not Priyash right in front of him. That is another driver in the BMW as well, who is now giving a great slipstream to J Patil, but he will also become a hindrance very, very shortly, as they're getting really close. This is the racing action that we expect out of this track, and this is what we're getting it in qualifying as well. As we can see, he's having a look down the inside, but he does not decide to go for it. He has one more lap, and this is a horrible scene to be in as a driver, isn't it, Tanish? Having a car in front of you that's clearly slower, but you have no place at all to make it overtake.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like we see the car in front, even though it messed up his lap, but yeah, while we're talking about that, Priyansh Shaban is the first driver to go into the sub 4-minute lap time. So that's an amazing showing from him. I think now it's for the other drivers to respond to that and see if they can, beat that lap time or come closer to it.
Exactly, 3 minutes 59.57 and a half tenths. Just over 7.5 tenths to Bhargav Talari. Kandisan P2 also on a lap. Pri has done it. He has gone back into the pits. He's going to try and pull a Sebastian Vettel Singapore off right here. Aditya Vanmali also satisfied with his lap. He's gone back into the pits with a P3 provisionally. Quite a few of the drivers still out on track as we watch with S. Sen, who is in a cream colored beautiful BMW number 47. Sending it through coming into the last couple of corners right now. Was losing time in the first sector, gained it all back in the second. Now yet to see what occurs in the third. Will he be able to improve his position of 11th? Will he be able to go into the top 10s? We'll have to see just as he comes across the line. And he has remained. He's lost a lot of time, a heap of time. 4 tenths, has one more goal at it. Luckily, last 1 minute remaining for qualifying here in this amazing circuit of Le Mans. Bhargav Talari in the BMW getting slipstream from a Lamborghini right in front of him, and that must be of massive help. The Lamborghini pulls away. Clearly there was some coordination going on over there. This may or may not be of help to Bhargav here. I'm sure it won't gain him 7 tenths, but it will secure his P2 a little bit further as he continues on with his lap. A little bit shaky, but still powering through.
Yep, and as we are in the final few seconds of the qualifying, I'm pretty sure there'll be drivers who will be finishing their laps, and yeah, there might be a few drivers, like maybe 1 or 2, who will be starting their lap just now. But yeah, I think it's time where we'll see where the drivers stand in the qualifying. Seems like our top drivers in the championship have decided to, not do the quali and have some fun and start at the back of the grid for this race, considering how good overtaking opportunities this track provides. So yeah, that is one thing to look out for. But right now we are on board Bhargav Talari, who is going through his final few corners, and there's a car in the background almost going off the track there. Not sure again. And that Ferrari seems like has invalidated and stopped his lap. But right now, we are looking at Bhargav Talari gets a decent exit, completely using the track. About to cross start finish, and he did improve. Oh my God, that's so close between these two
Heartbreaking.
drivers. Yeah, man. I mean,
Six.
it's like, oh, come on, those final like few milliseconds when you see that difference, and it's just as much as it's motivating that you are first, it's heartbreaking as well that you just missed because of those minor errors.
Exactly, it is just the bits and bobs that count throughout this extremely long circuit. Unfortunate for Talari, misses out on that P1 by 600ths of a second. I'm sure he's delighted to get a P2, yes, but at the same time, absolutely gutted because he knows where he could have gotten that 600ths, and unfortunately, it was not there on the table for him. As we currently ride aboard with Ajish Gilbert in a Porsche number 10, currently having P6, improving by 3 tenths, and we essentially have a good idea of where the grid will be today with Alex Joseph in front of James Robin. I'm sure he'll be in utter disbelief as to how Alex Joseph can be in front of him, and he will be accusing him of sting drinking as Ajish Gilbert crosses the line and improves up to a P5, dethroning Patil from that place. Patil gets just about pushed ahead by Randhwa, who is in P7. Afzan comes across the line in P8 with a 401.128. And this is essentially the grid for you right here. Priyanshu Oban, 359.518 for the pole right here in Le Mans, followed very, very closely by Bhargav Talari, 600ths off of him, followed by Aditya Vanmali, which is an absolute surprise, and I'm sure James Robin will be even more gutted looking at the P3 position, considering that he knows that he could have also been there. He had the capabilities, but unfortunately just could not get the lap together. As we can see, Sen attacking those curbs, coming across the line himself, improves, stays in 11th, 401.992, and that is your qualifying done and dusted here in Le Mans.
Yep, that looks like a pretty close qualifying considering how big the track is and what we were discussing at the start. Priyan Chavan taking the pole from Bhargav Talari by almost 61 milliseconds. So that is close, and it's gonna be amazing to see the fight between these two in the race. But yeah, going to the top 10, we have Priyan Choban followed by Bhargav Talari. Aditya Vanmali taking P3, almost 8 tenths away, followed by Akbar Kumar in P4, Ajish Gilbert in P5. In the end, he just replaces Jay Kumar Patil from that position. Jay Kumar Patil P6, followed by Herman Randhawa, P7, P8 it's A Afzan, P9 Shiv Kiran, followed by Geetin Samuel in P10. So yeah, I think that was an amazing qualifying between these guys, and we have the remainder of the grid on this page. For Shomik Sen in P11, Alex Joseph P12, James Robin P13. Again, not the best qualifying or what he would have hoped for. P14 followed by Abdul Mukeed, P15 Mohammad Faizan, P16 Nick Phoenix, P17 Abid Hussain, P18 Hardik Pari, P19 Steve Martis, and followed by Kanak Satam in P20.
Yeah, that is an interesting line. A P13 to P17 are all BMWs. P12 is one Mercedes and P11 is yet another BMW. So clearly the third Reich coming along in the midfield, which we will see in the race. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a very, very chaotic midfield as we just take a breather just before the race. And Kanak Satam not setting a lap time at all, being completely far behind. What do you reckon, Tanish? Last to first?
I mean, that definitely is what that driver is thinking right now, along with some other runners like Hardik Pari or maybe even James Robin if he's thinking that. But yeah, it's definitely possible. Again, it depends on who plays his strategy perfectly. because I'm pretty sure more than the pace in this race, it's gonna be that massive fuel saving throughout the maybe first stint or the second stint, depending on what drivers who want to do. But yeah, a normal push, they might be going 5 laps, but if they want to go that one extra lap, they will have to fuel save massively. And mind you, that is important for you to, if you want to finish this race with one pit stop. So yeah, it's all to look out for now. Simply, there anything can happen in this race. It's wide open.
Exactly, wide open as we see a great drone shot of Bhargav Talari's BMW just waiting on the grid just before we get going for the formation lap. And yeah, as you mentioned, Tanish, the strategy here will be very crucial. They'll have to do plenty of tire saving, they'll have to do plenty of fuel saving, and yeah, just hope that they don't have to make that one stop, because if they end up making that one stop, it is going to be detrimental for the race, as opposed to the people who don't stop. Clear weather's coming our way for the rest of this race, and just as we go through the formation lap, you can see Priyansh leading with that Canadian flagged Corvette in P1. Bhargav Talari, very nice deliveries, I must say. These cars very beautiful to look at, very pleasing to look at, as we can see barely any weaving from these guys. Mainly it's just the brake ride and getting the brakes prepared. Aditya Vanmali weaving a little bit just as I say that, and yeah, it's just going to be a straight dash to the end with a little tinge of fuel saving. You can see G. Samuel and A. Shakunt are in the pits. They have not decided to start this race with the grid. They'll be starting from the pits. I guess they're just playing it safe to not get caught up in the midfield third Reich that's about to occur. This is the calm before the storm, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, as these cars are just slowly approaching the grid, drivers making sure every setting in that car that they want at the start is right. The tires are up to the temperature along with the brakes. I'm pretty sure, since they do not have the tire warmers, a lot of the drivers take it carefully at the race start. But again, sometimes the driver who breaks the later either causes the crash or is the one who gains the most positions. So yeah, this the first corner is gonna be the one that's gonna be proving to be very interesting for us. But right now we are approaching the start finish, and we are about to be underway for the final race of IRC LMU Season 2. As the drivers are approaching, and it's green light, and it's go. Priyan Shoban getting an amazing start, already covering Bhargav Talari. And yep, the attack should not be much. As we see the BMW of J Patel on the inside. There's 3 wide and there's 3-car crash. Whose Corvette was it that lost
Aditya
out?
Vanmali! Aditya Vanmali got absolutely sent off there, and that is going to be very bad for him. He's down in P6 with a lot of damage. There was a Porsche that came in out of absolutely nowhere. Not sure what he was doing. Actually losing his lead to Bhargav Talari. Just as we go through the first couple of corners, he'll have the chance of trying getting it back right here. It will be the Porsche, apologies, it will be the Corvette versus the BMW as we go down through this straight. Ajish Gilbert tailing Aditya Vanmali right here. He'll be trying to make a move, moving up into P6 to give him a better chance of scoring better points. As we can see, the chaotic start as we expected has occurred side by side. The Porsche of Akbar Kumar with Jay Patil in that BMW, with Randhawa having a good look but deciding not to make a move, just following Akbar Kumar through this corner, and that goes wide. Randhawa losing the position of Akbar Kumar, and yes, Randhawa right here, and yeah, Akbar Kumar under plenty of pressure now, not getting breathing space at all.
Yep, Jay Kumar Padal tried to make a move down the inside on Akbar Kumar at the first chicane, but completely messed up his exit on that dirty line and lost out 2 places. And right now, again, there's a battle between the Ford of Harman Randhawa and Akbar Kumar. Akbar Kumar being pushed wide. Seems like Harman Randhawa is much better exit along with Jay Patil, and they'll be for sure looking to make that move on Akbar, and they have already done it. But now it's slipstream with Akbar Kumar, and there's a big train of car behind him. And we are not sure who's gonna come out on top to the next corner between these cars. But yep, right now it's J Kumar Patil fighting Harman Randhawa for that position. And it's J Kumar Patil right now who keeps that and messes up his exit. And right now it's 4 wide almost. Simply again, it's difficult to say what's happening right now. It's difficult to keep a track of that.
It's very chaotic, but by the looks of it, Randhawa is currently standing P3, being absolutely slipstreamed out of by the cars following Aditya Vanmali, Jay Patil, Ajish Gilbert joining this battle, Akbar Kumar, of course, right here as well, and it is side by side between Aditya Vanmali and the BMW of Jay Patil. Aditya Vanmali pulls out ahead of Jay Patil, and his targets are set. He's trying to get that P3 right away from Randhawa, who pushes Akbar Kumar off, almost sending him into the Goodyear barriers and just about keeping it out. A very good job from Akbar Kumar, as we can see. Ajish Gilbert taking the chance on the dance, and he's up into P6, getting right past Jay Patil, who is pushed down into P7, will be currently under pressure from Alex Joseph and James Roberts, just about tailing him right here, as we see once again Ajish Gilbert fighting of Jay Patil, Alex Joseph peeping right there, and that is James Robin peeping a move on Alex Joseph, just about making it, and Alex Joseph getting it right back, not letting that happen on his watch. This is very, very close racing, all for P3, multiple cars, I think down all the way to P9 are involved in this massive train, as that is the BMW of, I'm not sure who is that who's gone off there?
I think it's Jay Patil.
Jay Patil's gone off there. That is horrible for him, and he's going off into the pits.
Yep, Jay Patil is going into the pits, so that's not the best for him. But yeah, interesting to see Aditya Vanmali after having that big incident at the race start, still sitting in the top 5. So that's encouraging for him. But I guess Kanak Satam, that guy started in P20 and now is in P9. I would have to say he's one of the biggest gainers of the race start for this event. But yeah, right now it's Akbar Kumar who is putting pressure on that Ford of Harman Randhawa. He is not leaving that car away. He's sticking there and making sure once Harman Randhawa makes a mistake or he gets a proper slipstream, he is gonna make that move right now. Aditya Vanmali is also under pressure from the Porsche of Ajish Gilbert. So it's close racing happening, and I guess drivers maybe after this lap or already will be thinking of whether they fuel save now or they push and try to fuel save in the next stint, because fuel saving while battling is never gonna help. They need that clean drive to make sure they do not lose a lot of time while fuel saving, and they can maximize that fuel saving stint for them.
I don't think anyone's going for any fuel saving right now, Tanish. Especially not right now. They're all gunning it, as we see Priyanshu won it P4. He's made a massive mistake. He was right behind Bhargav Talari, constantly waiting that 3 to 4 guy. Now he's in P4. The huge loss for him behind Akbar Kumar and Randhawa, who's currently starting to contact between James Robin and Alex Joseph, and I'm sure a middle finger will be going right towards Alex Joseph's window for that contact, and James Robin playing it as safe as he can to try and pass him, telling him to jaake udhar se sting khareed if you know you know. And making a great move to get clear of Alex Joseph, exactly what he wanted to get involved in that fight of for P2 as it currently stands. Koushik Satam watching from behind, currently still in P9, but he's very rapidly catching up to Alex Joseph, and it'll be just a matter of time before he gets up into this fight for P2, although Bhargav Talari is not too far ahead. Randhawa is in P8, so all of these people who were there initially, the top 2 to 3 are losing out positions. Priyansh back up into P3, Akbar Kumar up into P2, and now it is once again a proper fight for P2, and at this point this train is really long. Very happy who's in it and who's not. But yes, essentially this can completely boil down to anyone's game as we come into the final 38 minutes of this season. Side by side, Alex Joseph and Koushik Satam. Koushik Satam going down the inside of Alex Joseph in his Corvette. Alex Joseph pulling out right ahead. very, very good defense from Alex Joseph. Satham having a better exit though. Having a look down the inside. Will he be willing to make that move? No, Randava willing to go into the good here for sure.
It seems like Herman Randava has made a mistake as well, considering he was P2 and now he is dropped to P9. I'm not sure what exactly happened at the Mulsanne corner, or was it before it? But yep, he has lost quite a lot, and right now it's Kanak Satam battling the Mercedes of Alex Joseph. Right now Kanak has the outside line through the Porsche curves. Will he be bold enough to keep that line? And he sticks his car around the outside to cover off Alex Joseph and keeps that position from him. But right now, looking at the Porsche of Akbar putting all that pressure on Bhargav Talari, Akbar was definitely one of the drivers who was looking very strong in qualifying. Didn't get the best of the lap times, but properly using the track by all these drivers in that corner. Right now, as these drivers approach the Ford chicane, and mind you, like Akbar Kumar will be having a very good opportunity down the Mulsanne straight when these guys approach there. If he keeps that gap close to like 3 or even 5 tenths, considering how long the straight is. But at the same time, Bhargav Talari is responding with the fastest lap time of 4 minutes 3. Or mind you, I'm sorry, it's James Robin who has done the fastest lap time of the race. So yeah, a lot of shuffling happening already.
Yeah, very, very exhausting to keep up with. Tail contact between the tail of Bhargav Talari and the nose of Akbar Kumar. That's lost some 3 tenths there. But yeah, Bhargav Talari clearly has made a mistake somewhere, because he just does not have the pace stand. I think he's short his tires by doing something, because he was 8.5 tenths ahead of Akbar Kumar, and now the gap's reduced to just a tenth and a half. Akbar Kumar, great slipstream. Ajish Gilbert already with the move past Priyansh. Priyansh moving down into P4. Ajish Gilbert in P3. Now it is Akbar Kumar versus Bhargav Talari. Akbar Kumar closing in further and further and further. That pink Porsche pulls off to the side. Will it be just about ahead? Still side by side, almost making contact with each other. And just about ahead, Akbar Kumar gets past before moving into the first set of chicanes of the Mulsanne straight. Great move by him, but the battle's not over just yet.
Up, and simply just to let you know, I was keeping a track of the drivers' virtual energy. And drivers, it's not even 2 laps, and drivers are, already closing down to their 50% usage. It is getting closer with the V as well as these drivers push. But right now it's Kanak Satam who is in front of Aditya Vanwali in the Corvette. It's like a Corvette formation right now, as we can see there. Will Aditya Vanwali trying to make a move down the inside of Kanak Satam? No, he takes it safe, and it's Kanak Satam who keeps that lead from the Vanwali. Now trying to put that pressure on James Robb, not far behind. Really have the opportunity to make the move at the end of this straight. Will find it out, but yeah, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close, and let's see if he can make a move. He tries. He lifts and coasts. He does a lot of Lyco there to save fuel. Now he might get a much better exit, but yeah, let's see if now he can make a move before Indianapolis or not.
These drivers are bleeding through their virtual 50%. And I think James Robin was below 50%, so clearly a pit stop may be coming our ways towards the later half of this race, as we see the battle for P3. Ajish Gilbert, Priyansh side by side with Ajish Gilbert just about ahead of Priyansh. And Priyansh is doing whatever he can to finish in that top 3, but Ajish has just been a massive roadblock for him, not allowing him to get past. Nowhere. A great defense from Ajish, and I've personally known Ajish for a very, very long time, and I know he's a very, very capable driver, and he'll fight tooth and nail to fight for any position, as this allows Bhargav Talari and Akbar Kumar to absolutely pull away. And this battle once again has turned for a battle for P3. Priyansh down the inside of Ajish Gilbert. Ajish Gilbert, by the virtue of his Porsche top speed, just about ahead of Priyansh, but Priyansh is inching closer in the corners. For how long will this continue? We'll have to see, as James Robin getting involved in this battle. And we have Kanak Satam right there. And for the first time in this race, Abdul Muqeed being mentioned. He is just about hanging and he's at a stone's throw distance, you can say, of this battle for P3, and has a very very good chance he can be involved in. Aditya Vanbali, who started P3, currently sitting very disappointedly in P8, hoping for a better race from here on out.
Yep, definitely. And seems like there was a brief moment of yellow flag for Skirin. And as you see, he's dropping down the order. I'm not exactly sure what happened in the background, but he did lose a place there to, I guess, in Phoenix. So yeah, not sure what happened. But as we focus on James Robin, looking behind, he is being chased by the cars. Is it James Robin or I think it's Ajish Gilbert, my bad. It's Ajish Gilbert being chased by the cars behind who are trying to hunt for that final podium spot. Up front, Akbar Kumar has already made 3.5 second gap to Bhargav Talari. And right now it seems like Akbar Kumar has a good clean air and he'll be trying to, make sure to get the most out of this stint and not get involved in a lot of battling since he has that lead. But behind him, a lot of big train happening between the cars, and one mistake and there'll be multiple cars bouncing for that position.
Exactly, no room for errors here at all, as Akbar Kumar has pulled a 4-second lead to Talari while also being about 10% down on his virtual energy. A lot of people are draining down into 30% range. We'll have a stop coming here very, very shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Patil setting the fastest lap time of the race so far, 4:02.200. Very, very good lap times coming in as we see James Robin now under pressure from Kanak Satam. Kanak Satam having a very, very good look. Priyansh is already ahead of Ajish Gilbert just by the nick of things, and Kanak Satam clears, almost clearing James Robin. No, James Robin not willing to let that position get away from him. Still side by side and ahead of Kanak Satam. That BMW has straight line speed well above and beyond what the Corvette is capable of. That is keeping James Robin alive in this fight, and just about close enough to strike on Ajish Gilbert if he makes a mistake as Priyansh has moved up into P3.
Yep, and there was slight moment for Kanak Satam on that outside curb. Almost lost his car. Luckily, there was enough room on the outside. But right now, under pressure from Abdul Muki in that BMW. BMW is showing that straight line superiority on the straight. But yeah, I think it's more than that superiority on the straight. It's more of the Kanak Satam lifting off through that corner to save fuel, as I think he's running in a good situation. So yeah, that's helping him. Even though he's not making an impression on the leaderboard, but that fuel is definitely gonna come into play in the second stint.
Absolutely. Another question also remains, Tanish, if they will be willing to change their tires for the second stint. It takes a good, I think, another 10 seconds onto just to stop to add the tires, and so are they willing to do that? Perhaps take a gamble with fresher tires, full push until the end. Maybe it may be on the cards as we see Aditya Vanmali and Alex Joseph right in back, and we have the replay of the start here between SN and Hardik Pari. Hardik Pari is the Porsche that we saw getting absolutely sent. There was Vanmali on the outside. Pari, oh my god, going for a Tokyo drift right across, missing by the absolute tiniest of margins to Talari there, and the rejoin very, very close to hitting. I'm not sure who that was, but yeah, good rejoin skills from him, and great job on saving his car, keeping it out of the barriers. But yeah, that definitely affected his race, and he is down in an unknown position at this very moment. And we see Faizan and Sen. Faizan on the outside, keeping Sen just behind him, but Sen, of course, is not willing to let go of that position. And there's a P4 car right there. I'm not sure who that is. There's a Lexus involved right there, along with a BMW and a Ferrari. And yeah, this was a heated battle just after we got off from the start, right here, just after the green flag. Faizan and Sen. Yeah, still contact side by side, hard racing between the BMWs, and Faizan was pushed off for once by Sen as opposed to the other way around. So that is just paved the way for the BMW to take their position right away from them, and all they could do was sit there and watch.
That looked like a BMW garage. Three BMWs just going together. There's another one in the background. So it's a gaggle of BMW cars fighting for the position. And I guess it's S. Sane and Mohammed Faizan who are battling it out through the Indianapolis. And Faizan, I guess, not getting the best of the exit as we see. Another BMW almost
Faizan!
losing it. I guess it was not. I think it was Abid Hussain, if I'm not wrong, or Shamik Sen. I'm not sure who it was, but I guess it was Abid Hussain who lost his car there.
Yeah, and then this is between Randhawa and Alex Joseph. Contact between them, Alex Joseph squeezing his way in front of Randhawa.
Yep. And right now we are running very, very close to the the pit stop window. And right now, as you can see, the replay of
Oh!
Jaquar Patil, and that is
Yeah.
something weird that
Yeah, I think
we are
that's
seeing
another
right
internet
now.
connection. If we can come back to the live feed,
Yep.
Akbar Kumar 6 seconds ahead. J Patil 4.6, and that is contact Ajish Gilbert with Abdul Mukeet, and that is who is that? That's Abdul Mukeet spun. Despite coming up to a very very good spun, Randhawa taking a pound on this opportunity, flying past, or at least trying to fly past axxelSam here with the slipstream of Ajish Gilbert. That was something crazy to switch right back to, and yes, this battle continues on between axxelSam and Randhawa. axxelSam sitting behind Aditya Vanwani, I'm pretty sure in his cockpit doing great, dude, I could have been there, but of course right now sat just behind watching this battle unfold in front of him. Abdul Mukeet gutted, I'm pretty sure, also with some damage, which I'm sure he will be repairing this in his upcoming pit stop.
Now I'm really interested to see what is gonna be the situation in the pits right now. But let's first look at the replay on what happened between Ajish Gilbert and Abdul Mukeet. And that Porsche hit I think it's Porsche of Ajish Gilbert who hit Abdul Mukeet and then punted from the back, which caused Abdul Mukeet to lose that rear. That was very, very unfortunate, and I guess Stewards definitely will have a look at it, and there might be a penalty coming Ajish Gilbert's way, by the way it looks on the screen.
Could be. It was both the drivers initially. It was Abdul Mukeet who sent it, and then it was Ajish Gilbert who took him right out of the way. So we will see what the stewards decide based on what has occurred. As right now we see Randhawa attacking Ajish Gilbert as the camera shakes from the sheer movement of these cars. Very, very quick. And Ajish Gilbert, as I said, just about keeping head. James Robin in P4, much further down on his virtual energy as compared to Priyansh. I think Priyansh can go for one more lap as compared to the other drivers around him, and that may or may not be beneficial on a very, very long track like this. As we see Randhawa 8% virtual energy, he can only go for this upcoming lap and no further, and he has decided to pull off into the pits with Ajish Gilbert. We see the first set of pitters right here battle into the pits. Randhawa not giving up, side by side with Ajish. Ajish lets him by, and that is a very, very risky move, but paid off for Randhawa as he comes into the pits, and Akbar Kumar also into the pits as he's recharging his car, or rather refueling his car, and we will see how this race unfolds. J Patil currently in P19, but with also the fastest lap of the race. Bhargav Talari leads 2.5 seconds, Priyansh in P2. This race so far has been very, very interesting. Tanish, things have calmed down now, but thanks to the gaps opening up because of the pit stops. But yes, clearly plenty more time. 23 minutes still to go. Plenty of chaos coming our way.
I mean, it's calm before the storm, I would say, considering now the drivers who had to pit early because of less virtual energy, they will be making their stops, and now the other drivers are trying to extend that one extra lap. I don't think anyone can go 2 laps from here, from the top 3 or even top 5, whoever is outside of the pit box on the track right now. But yeah, as these drivers will pit at the end of this lap, and the other drivers will be charging down the start finish line, it's gonna be interesting to see how these drivers play, because if you look at it, it's I think drivers have pitted at the end of 4 laps, and there's still 22 minutes to go. It's not gonna be easy to go to the end with this push without fuel saving if they want to finish the race without having to pit for another lap. I might be wrong, but that definitely looks like the case considering how fast the virtual energy just got exploited there.
Exactly halfway through the race, and they started off with a full tank, completely emptied. So this could also, as you fairly mentioned, Tanish, it could also come down to who has some energy left towards the end of the race. There could be potentially a driver or two who run out of energy, who could potentially not finish. James Robin DNF. I have just noticed James Robin has DNF'd from this race. Not sure why. He was in a very, very good position, and now he has pulled out from this race. That is horrible. Mohammad Faizan out of this race as well. That is very sad to see. They were both running fairly solid races themselves, and now no longer a part of it. Well, we continue on with the 18 drivers that we have here, and we can see, I believe, Hardik Pari, of course, in the pit lane. Another incident for him, this time with Abid Hussain. Pari coming right up, knocking the cones off, going in the slow lane, trying to overtake there, never works, and he's just knocked some cones out here. And yeah, I'm not sure what he wanted to do, but clearly, unfortunately for him, didn't work the move into the pit lane, but right outside of it, Hussein did a mistake, and so that just gave Hardik some place to get on by and make that move, making his job a little bit easier as he
Yep.
tries to climb back through the back.
Totally agreed there. Abid Hussain tried to keep that place from Hardik Pari, but yeah, those cold tires didn't really give that grip at the first corner to brake later. And Hardik Pari being the smarter one and trying to brake early and get that cutback line and tried and got that position from him. So yeah, and right now we'll be seeing our front runners going into the pits with almost 1%, 2%
Less than
virtual
1%.
energy. Yeah, simply please carry on. What are you saying?
No, I was just saying SN is on 1% virtual energy. Can he make it to the pits?
I mean, let's see where he is on the track right now, but I think he should be
Oh,
fine.
0%!
Is it 0? I think it will be a DNF or DSQ if it's actually 0 before the pits. Is it 0? I think I'm seeing it 0. Is
That
it a
is 0 on
DSQ?
Sen! That is 0 on Sen! We're on board with Sen. Can he make it to his pit box? Or will he run out of oil? Has he just about made it?
It might be rounded
Just
off and there
about
might be
made it.
something for him
Just
to.
about made it. That is crazy. Down to 0%. Just about made it. He has got it. That is a yellow flag for N Phoenix in sector 3 of this track. As we see the top members who actually managed to keep their energies in control, no problemo, are now finally taking the pit stops, and so now once again it will be a final push and an advantage to them. Oh, that is, oh my god, Phoenix losing control of his car, totaled his car right there. I doubt he can really continue on much further in this race without making a pit stop and getting those repairs fixed, and even at that point I don't think it will be worth continuing. Jay Patil, 13% energy, he is recharging it currently in the pit. So yes, as we see, Phoenix once again causing the yellow flags in the third sector. He has, I don't think, much other options but to retire from this race. And Talari, Talari currently leads to Priyansh and Kanak Satam. So clearly, the people who had pit earlier, Tanish, the advantage has not really gone to them. Whereas the people who pit later, like Priyansh and Talari, advantage in their hands. They're still up there in the top 5 in very, very good positions to fight for the race win.
Yep, that 1 lap later pit definitely helped these guys, even though they have to fully, get that virtual energy back up. There is nothing like they can fuel to half tank or for a couple of laps, because it will be needed full tank to go to the end. But now it's on these guys on whether they can make it to the end without fuel saving, or they'll be fuel saving. I guess at least the drivers who pitted one lap early will have to do some kind of fuel saving. They won't be able to push as much as they were at the start, so that might not play in their hands pitting that early. But yeah, considering, I think it's Kanak, Satam, Priyan, Shobhan and Bhagav Talari has played it perfectly. Ajish Gilbert did gain good time, but yeah, still behind those guys.
Exactly, as we see Aditya Vanmali now attacking SKS.SK, and I just clocked that SK has an anime livery and not a camouflage livery. Makes sense. I mean, sure, Aditya Vanmali having a look down the inside, cannot make the move just about yet, but yeah, he will be very timid in this whole race, and of course disappointed. Started off in P3, had a huge mistake. Actually, I think he got sent off, and now he's in P8 and not really been able to recover much. As we can see, some drivers are already down to 70% of their virtual energy. 30% vanished in a matter of just about 2 laps here. So yeah, the fuel burn is really heavy. That is SSK making a mistake, gives a chance for Aditya Vanmali, pulls off to the side, hopefully will be ahead, and Aditya Vanmali just about ahead. Very good move from him. Patience paid off. Randhawa under attack from Abdul Mukeet now, and Abdul Mukeet right on the outside, keeping it there, not willing to give it up. Very close battle here for P6. As we see Abdul Mukeet still, Abdul Mukeet actually manages to make the move. Randhawa stays in 6th. Vanmali will be attacking, and that is SSK who's lost his car. He's lost his rear. Where has he gone? Manages to keep it on track. Luckily, no damage to him. Otherwise, it would have been an exact recreation of N Phoenix's crash, and that would have been devastating for his race.
Yep, luckily he survived there and is able to continue, considering how fast that corner is. But right now we are looking at Harman Randhawa, who is putting that pressure on Abdul Mukeet. Abdul Mukeet making good places after that incident. So, but yeah, it's Aditya Vanmali just using that opportunity and making that move on Harman Randhawa. Not sure what happened there. Seems like Harman Randhawa just got off guard there and he braked a bit early, and Aditya Vanmali was like, I'll just make that move. I got that opportunity, and he caught Harman Randhawa napping there.
Exactly, correct. Satam currently setting the fastest first two sectors of this race. Might be on for setting the quickest time. Nope, but those were pretty quick sectors. This is just pit. I think this lap might be it for him to set the quickest lap, as we see a replay of Sen, as we saw, getting very close to SSK, and just about managed to clear him, no issues. But yes, must have been a very scary moment for Sen right there, as we see once again this move made by Aditya Vanmali on SSK just before he had spun out. Just in front of us as well. You can see Abdul Mukeet making on Randhawa in that fold.
But SK was really lucky there to not lose that rear wing after tapping that rear so bad. So that was really fortunate for him, and how he, that curve was the issue there that actually caused it. I'm still not sure how he didn't lose that rear wing after that heavy contact. I mean, he should just thank God that he can continue with that and then not have to pit to get that repair done.
Exactly, that was a massive shunt, and that wing straight on. Props to the Ferrari engineers for making a very solid car doing nothing, and he's still continuing. He's right there, very close, very close to another hit for SSK in the wall. Almost made a move on Afzan, got very close to Afzan, but he's stabbed the wall again, and that Ferrari is being given proper beating up. Right, as we see Abdul Mukeet struggling for energy, down to 50% in a matter of just about 3 laps here. Very close. might not be able to make it to the end here, as we see Aditya Van Mali putting pressure on Abdul Makid. Currently, one of the closest battles that we see on track right now. Hardik Pari in B12. Currently, he's cleared of Abid Hussain, and his targets are set on S. Kiran to get past next, but even he's down into his 50% ish range of virtual energy, so we'll have to see if he also makes it to the end.
Yep, and now I'm more excited to see what lap times the front runners are doing after they complete this lap, because I really want to see if they are fuel saving, or they have calculated that even if not with normal push they'll be able to go to the end. I think it's gonna be interesting as we see that Ferrari almost took out the Mercedes of Joseph there. Oh my god, that is okay. That Ferrari was definitely not comfortable being driven after that incident. Simply, I mean that we just saw it that the wing was there, but that was definitely not helping that poor guy.
Absolutely not. The wing survived structurally, but aerodynamically suffered a massive hit. Van Mali catching Mukit off guard, getting by on the inside. Very, very good move, repping the American flag on his car, telling Mukit to bye. As one thing we failed to mention here, Tanish, Akbar Kumar, DNF. He has also dropped out from this race. One of the contenders for leading this race as well before the pit stops. Unfortunately, has dropped out from this race. Muki down into his 40%. He will have to stop again.
And oh my god, the entry of the Porsche curves where he lost his car. I think he tried to push too much there and there was not enough grip, or you need to be very careful through that entry, especially with older tires, because the grip is very less and the corner is not, it's very quick corner and it's not easy to keep the car under control there. So yeah, I think that was I would say a bit more on the driver's side, and right now we are looking at the replay of what happened between Joseph and SK.
Yep, Alex Joseph unfortunately getting collected there through no fault of his own, as SSK lost his car, and rightfully so Alex will be pissed off from what happened there. As we see things have calmed down a bit. Priyansh has gotten within a second of Talari. Hopefully he'll be able to close and give us a proper fight for that P1, as Kanak Satam also joins this battle, actually closer to Priyansh than Priyansh is to Talari, and this will be very, very interesting to see. Can Kanak pull off a last to first in 1.5 minutes remaining? Keep your eyes out. Ajish Gilbert down at his 40% virtual energy himself. Aditya Van Mali, I don't think will be able to recover up to P3 unless a massive incident occurs, but he'll still take a P5, I'm pretty sure, at this very moment. As we say, SSK currently behind J. Patil, he's gone to the pits. May retire, may decide to continue on. Could potentially have the fastest lap away, but we'll have to see. Quite a few drivers that actually I have seen reports that they are lifting and posting to save as much virtual energy as they possibly can to try and make it to the end, but clearly some of them coming into the 50%. Priyansh coming down to his 50%. I think he's in a comfortable spot, whereas some of the other drivers who are down into the 40s and 30% energies, they are a little bit on the edge. Abdul Bukit 37% may not be able to make it to the end.
Yeah, I think for the drivers who are below 50 already, or I would say below 40, they will have to do some good amount of fuel saving, or it might be even impossible to go to the end with that. So yeah, I think right now either they'll have to decide either they fuel save massively, or just push and get that one extra lap of fuel. But yeah, pit lane is also not very short here, so it will be time lost there as well. So again, it's for them to decide now what to do. But we are looking at the replay on what happened to Sin. Seems all normal till now. And
disconnection.
That is real. But yep, that's just sad for him. And yeah, seems like he's still running though. So maybe the car is just teleported back to garage, or it might be on track. I'm not sure what happened there. But yes, coming back to our front runners right now, it's I guess it's Ajish Gilbert on what we are looking at, and whose McLaren is it? I think it's S. Kiran following Joseph. Yep, the midfield is, quite a bit silent right now. Everyone thinking how to go to the end of this race. It's now it's now time to think on whether to push or not. But Evan Mali in a comfortable spot with that 51% VE. And again, I think it won't make a difference, but if it were to, if other drivers start saving fuel massively and they think, okay, it's not possible to go to the end, which I think they might be able to considering how much they have saved the fuel, Aditya Van Mali might just push a bit more and close that gap to at least Ajish Gilbert there.
I don't think there's a need to push right now, Tanish. The top three are all into their 40s over here. And let us not forget our very, very well experienced, long time IRC OG Shubham Das has predicted that this race will go timer plus 1 lap. And of course, the timer will bring out the checkered, but if you have to go for that plus 1 lap, is that
Oh my
40%
god.
virtual energy left enough for this?
I am
Is
excited
it
for
really
this.
enough?
I am excited for this simply. I'm sorry to cut you there. I'm totally on for it. I hope these, the race go for that plus 1 lap. I want to see how the drivers play their strategies because 200% that's gonna shuffle thing if that happens.
Exactly, none of them really want to give up their position. As you can see, Priyansh defending really hard from axxelSam for that P2. He really wants to keep that P2 away from him. But then again, the longer that these guys push, the more they burn through that energy, the more they won't have it for making it even after the timer. And so it is very, very close here. No one knows, no one can exactly tell what is going to happen in this race. One thing is for sure that Abdul Mukhit is almost in his 20% virtual energy left. He will for sure have to quit once again before the race ends, or at least he'll have to hope that the whole grid pits with him or something miraculous happens for him. As Karak Satam down the inside of Priyash not willing to give that position up. Unfortunately, can't really do much. Corvette versus Corvette. Unfortunately, Canada being put in its place by America once again.
But looking at the time simply, it might be close to the edge, but considering how smart these drivers are, it might be one more lap of racing left after this. And, in case they feel like, okay, it might be going to extend one more lap, they might just slow down a bit and, try to finish that race there. But right now we're looking at the replay between SK and Sane. Almost again, SK making a contact with another car there at the same corner. Yeah, that car is definitely not comfortable and causing a bit of chaos on the track, it seems.
Exactly. I mean, at what point do you think it's best to just pit and call it quits? Is there really a point in continuing on for this long with a beaten up car? Honestly, maybe not. But yeah, we'll have to see. Tanish, I don't think anyone will be willing to slow down, but certainly not willing to give the position. SSK made a move and SS almost connected just a few laps ago as he went into that barrier just over on the left hand side. Conveniently, so far so good. No issues as we can see. Kanak Satam ahead. Yeah, Abdul Bukit will have to quit. That is undeniable at this point. There is 4-minute lap time. They're not crossing the lap in 30 seconds. Is there now we need to rack our brains just a little bit. Spanish, help me out. There will be I think next lap will be the last lap if I'm not wrong.
Yep, well, it seems like it should be the last lap considering they need a lap time of more than 4 minutes to complete one lap, but it will be almost over before they cross the start finish line. So that definitely should be the last lap after this. And I guess these drivers have saved up enough to go to the end considering they will almost be having 20% virtual energy, and I believe that should be enough for them to make it to the end. Maybe with a bit of fuel saving, bit not. I'm not sure, but should be enough. Aditya Van Mali having that extra 10%, 31% he's having right now compared to 20% of other drivers. So, but yeah, at the same time, we have to consider he's much far behind, almost 25 seconds. So, yeah, almost similar spot for these guys.
Exactly. I really was hoping for that +1 lap to throw in the absolute mixture in this race, but unfortunately, looks like they've done just about enough line so that we won't be getting that +1 lap. As we see the white flag being waved, final lap we begin here of this season 2 of LMU with IRC putting pressure on Talari. A 10 separates the two of them, and Kanak just about keeping it right behind Talari. There had a brief look, deciding not to go for any moves just yet. Would be dangerous. Plenty of places to make those moves. Apologies. Priyansh just in the background, waiting to make that move in case someone makes a mistake. As we see final push in the race, and Abdul Bukit pits for some virtual energy just before finishing this race. Unfortunate for him. All I said on this P1 battle between Talari and IRC, as we see IRC in the proper slipstream of Talari, closing in further and further and further. Talari blocking the inside as much as he can. Kanak being forced to go right around the outside. Will he be able to keep it there? Will Talari let him keep it there? Nope, he has to back out, cannot make a move, and once again he will go right at it in this upcoming straight down to 15% virtual energy. Should be just about enough for them to finish this race.
And
Priyansh closing in a little bit more, and IRC once again closing in on Bhargav. Can he make it? Can he do it? Having a look down the inside, can't go there. Having a look around the outside once again, nope, decides to stay behind. Switch into... Oh! He's trying to Sebastian Vettel Bhargav here. Bhargav not falling for it. Defends the position, lives to fight another day.
Yep, and IRC, it has all come down to the wire at the last lap. And can IRC do it? What it looked was impossible. Almost last to first. And right now he's literally sitting behind Bhargav Talari. Will it be IRC who does last to first and wins 9 out of 10 races this season? Or will Bhargav Talari's first race win in this season? We'll find out very soon. Bhargav Talari getting a decent exit and is leading very, very marginally from IRC. IRC not leaving that, getting a good slipstream through this straight. It's a long straight, a lot of time. He can make a move and already pull alongside Bhargav Talari. Will he make a move down the Indianapolis? Will he be able to get past Bhargav Talari by then? It seems like he is in front. He is not giving up. He is not lifting. It's all pedal to the metal right now. And he has an inside line, and he is the bolder one. Keeps the car there. Makes the move. Takes the lead. It's 8% virtual energy left. Should be good enough to finish the race. It's IRC, who started from P20, right now sitting in P1, who have taken lead from Bhargav Talari, who has done amazingly well throughout the race, but has lost that lead in the end. And now it seems like it has all settled for Kanak to grab that win in the last race and make it 9 out of 10 wins with a dominant finish for this season simply.
9 out of 10. That is a statement and a half, to say the least. An amazing season it has been so far. Well deserved by Kanak to win the Drives Championship. And as he comes up, and as you say, 9 out of 10 races for him, finishing P1 in the amazing Le Mans circuit. That is IRC, as you see on your screens, in that yellow color Corvette, number 22, coming across the final chicane. And I'm very happy to say IRC comes across the line to win the Le Mans Grand Prix, and he has done it. 9 out of 10 races in this season. Ecstatic as he shakes his wheel to show his joy. That is Ajish Gilbert in a valiant effort. P4. Bhargav Talari did all that he could try. Unfortunately, did not pay out for him. P2 at the end is what he had to settle for. Priyansh. P3. Not so bad. And to the line, this is a battle between Afzan and Van Mali. Van Mali just about staying ahead in P5 despite starting in P3. Unfortunate for him. Joseph, Randhawa and Kiran still trying to fight for the last few positions here. Unfortunately, it'll be Randhawa, Joseph and then Kiran. And they're having contact after crossing the line. Perhaps Uh, yeah, well, just showing the frustration or excitement, I guess. Not sure. Hardik Parhi also did what he could throughout the season. Secured a P2 at least. Not a bad effort for him. Hopefully, next season it is for him. Coming across the line with 0% virtual energy and doing a great job. Jay Patil with the most unfortunate races of a majority of the drivers that we see here in P11. Abdul Mukeet and P12 who had to make a stop once again because of running out of energy. And that has been a season and a half here, Tanish. Ecstatic to watch all of the 10 races that we had seen, and again and again and again Kanak proved why he deserved that P1. And if it hadn't been for a few of the mistakes that Hardik Pari made, I think that P1 could have also been for him, or at least have gone down to the final race. As we see here, Sen versus no SSK, doesn't look like it anymore. SSK going off into the barrier gives the position of to Sen. 15th will be of Sen, and then SSK 16th with Martis in 14th, who had gone completely unmentioned throughout this race, but still a decently managed race from him. But SSK is coming back. He's coming back. He's bouncing right back on Sen. They're not willing to let go of this, and he has contact. He pushes him off wide, and he has taken that position. Surely the stewards will be having a very, very good look at it. Even in the final race, does not end without a drama.
Yep, SN won't be happy with that. But you know what? Even though all those incidents happened on the stream, we saw everything happening with that car of SK. I would have to give it to SK on, trying to get that car to the end. Yep, stewards will have to look at the incidents, but getting that car to the end was another effort. Instead, as we see, he's just trying to get to the end. He doesn't want to take any more corners.
That is so ironic. He cut the corner to try and save some amount of time, and at the end he spun out, coming right out of the final chicane. That is a checkered flag. All 16 finishes that we have here have crossed the checkered flag, and that is it for season 2 of LMU. That is your final finishing order. Kanak Satam, last to first, solidifying his position in P1. Bhargav Talari, disappointed, kept that P1 throughout the race, unfortunately having to lose it just in the last sector of the last lap. Riyansh Oban, P3 here, finishing on the podium. I'm sure he will be delighted with Ajish Gilbert 4th, Aditya Vanmari 5th, Afzan 6th, Herman Randawa 7th, Alex Joseph 8th, Shiv Kiran 9th, Hardik Pari 10th, Jaykumar Patil 11th, Abdul Mukeet 12th, Abid Hussain P13th. So that third Reich of the BMWs was still continuing in the midfield kill. Steve Martins 14th, Samik Sen 15th, Santosh SK 16th, and that he was the last of the finishers. Akbar Kumar, Nick Phoenix, James Robin, Mohammad Faizan were the DNFers, along with Arif Shakunt and Geedon Samuel. Jaykumar Patil, though, took the fastest lap of the race with a 4:00.686, and that is it for this season.
Yep, and seems like we have our top 3 drivers with us for the interviews. And there are a lot to ask to these drivers on how exactly the race was. A lot of strategy involved in this race. And let's hear from them what they have to say for this. So simply, why don't you start with our P3 finisher, Lightning Making or Bhargav Talari? I'm sorry, Priyan Shoban. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry there.
Yes, Tanish already doing these stewards work, demoting Lightning McKing down to P3 for no apparent reason, adding salt to his injuries. You were P3, not Bhargav or Lightning McKing, and you did a fantastic job throughout the race. Although you did fall down in the first stint to a couple down to, I think, P5 it was, and that clearly costed you a good few positions despite having a great battle right off the start with Lightning McKing, and then not sure what happened. Do you talk us through your race?
Yeah. I think the positions that I had lost, except to Talari, were just the people who were pushing, who weren't saving an extra lap. So that wasn't too big a concern. Yeah, I think a little disappointing in the end. After starting on pole to finish third, but some nice battles towards the end. Uh, obviously, I think I made a mistake towards the end of the second last lap after Kanak overtook me. So that basically meant that I was just watching the fight up ahead rather than being part of it. And I think I could have potentially challenged for P2 at least. Um, but yeah, I think it's been a good improvement all season in these cars and on this game. So I mean, obviously, I'm disappointed with the P3, which is it's a nice thing to say, but yeah, I mean, I think overall it was a good race. So yeah, not too many complaints.
Certainly. Certainly, all in all, still finishing up on the podium. I'm sure you're not disappointed, and especially taking up the challenge to these wheeled drivers through and throughout the season, despite being able to control yourself. A massive, massive feat from you, Pri. Congratulations! And I think I'm not sure about the final standings. I don't know if you have secured P3 in the standings or not, but I'm sure you'll find out soon enough. But anyways, congratulations for P3 in this race. And Tanish, why don't you take us away with lightning marking for P2?
Yep, lighting making aka Bhargav Talari. So first of all, congratulations on that P2. And I feel like until we have any penalties applied later on between the drivers, you have secured that P3 in the championship. So congratulations on that. It was a close battle with Pre till the end, but yep, as of now, it's you who gets that P3 in the championship. So first of all, congratulations for that. And yep, walk us through your race. I guess this is is this your first podium in this season, if I'm not wrong?
Yes, yes, it is.
Amazing job. Yeah, please walk us through your race.
Yeah, firstly, thank you all. Talking about this race, starting at the front of the grid gave me a good advantage. It was a nice quali, and also good that I did not lose so much time while with the guys who are like pushing in the first stint, while I was trying to just save. And yeah, throughout the season, it has been very good season, high level competitiveness and door to door battles in almost all the races that we have. Yeah, missed out on podium for like 3, 4 races in the past, but it was like really amazing to have the podium in the finale.
Yep,
Yep.
that was definitely amazing from you. It was bound to happen someday, considering strong
Yeah.
performances throughout. But yeah, I just want to know what actually was going through your mind throughout the race. I guess this was not a straightforward race, considering the fuel saving and virtual energy saving required to make it to the end with just one pit stop. So, were you prepared for it, or was it midway you realized no, it's gonna be tricky and you have to fuel save massively?
I prepared for it. Like I simulated this same race in the race weekend, then had multiple runs. Every time fixing my break points at different positions so that without losing so much time, how can I like save the fuel? That is the thought process I had while practicing in the race weekend. And that practice has really put me in this place that it gave me very good advantage in the race.
Yep, that definitely did show up today.
Yep.
And yeah, sorry, yeah, you wanted to say something? Please tell me.
Yeah, all good. Thank you.
Okay, simply, you got any questions for our P2 finisher?
Yes, I mean, I remember Lightning, you starting off in ACC when when we were running, and we had we had seen you in the midfield there, fighting tooth and nail for a solid few positions. So I'm sure must be amazing. Finally,
Yeah,
proving your worth in LMU, finishing on the podium.
thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on to the man of the hour, man of the season, FIFA Kanak, 9 out of 10. That is not your marks in a maths test. It is the race wins that you have for 10 races, 9 wins, and securing your ninth and final one just on the final sector of the final lap, especially at a circuit like Le Mans. How do you feel with such a massive dominance that you have shown throughout this season? And of course, congratulations for the P1.
Yeah, great race. I had a lot of fun in the last 3, 4 laps fighting with Pri and Talari there. I hope Deepak finally gave me some screen time. Uh, but yeah, it was a good race. The Early the first stint was a bit difficult. I was reluctant to do this, the start behind everyone because of the fuel saving. But luckily, I was behind Dark Knight, and his flat out pace and my fuel saving pace was like exactly almost the same. So I was calmly staying behind him, letting him fight the battles and carve the way for me. So I
Right.
really got lucky in the first stint there, and yeah, second stint it was fun fighting with these guys. Yeah, and the championship wise, I'm just really gutted. I couldn't fight for the win in the first race, and I was really close to Atul before spinning out on my own. So yeah, that would have been a fun statistic if I could have won the first race.
Right. Well, it is what it is. I'm sure you'll still be happy regardless of, despite missing out on the one race that I'm sure you would have loved to have, making it a solid 10 out of 10. But even Max Verstappen, conveniently on the screen, now couldn't secure all of the races in his most dominant season. So, anyways, congratulations, Kanak. Wish you the very best of luck for the next season. Hopefully, we will be able to see some more of this from you coming very, very shortly. This has been it, ladies and gentlemen, for LMU Season 2. FIFA Kanak taking away the Drivers' Championship, followed by Hardik Pari or Moto and Lightning McKing or Bhargav Talari securing that P3 in the championship, barring, of course, no penalties applied post race. Thank you so much for joining us for this very nice season, very, very interesting season. Of course, we will be back very, very shortly with some F1, with some more LMU coming right your way just after we have a very short break. That has been it from IRC. That is myself, Simply YT, Tanish, and Deepak Raj for this evening signing off. If you are interested in joining for the future seasons of LMU or F125, especially now that the F126 DLC will be dropping very shortly, and so that is what we'll be hoping to get started from. So do make sure to join. Our server link is on your screen as well as in the description. Follow us on all our social medias to stay up to date with what is happening in the server. Plus, we have some nice social media content coming out, especially on Instagram these last couple of weeks. So stay tuned, keep us followed, make sure to like and subscribe, and do join us if you are also just a normal motorsport enthusiast. This is a space for all Indian motorsport enthusiasts. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay hydrated in this summer, and we will be back with you very, very shortly. This has been it. Signing off. See ya.
Good night.